Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Outlook Industries podcast. It's your host, Trevor Johnson, back at you again with another great episode and a great guest. Today we have Lumi on the podcast. She's a local artist and she kind of spearheaded the Spearfish Skatepark art project and just painting that park, which really needed to get done. And I just found it really interesting how she kind of reached out to kind of help the community in that way, being an artist and not so much a skateboarder. And I just really wanted to talk to her about that process and how she kind of ended up doing that. And she has some interesting things to say and is just a cool person. She also, before she left, gave me this collage. She does a lot of stuff. This is from Thrasher. And I just thought it was really interesting and really cool. Thank you, Lumi. But yeah, she does a lot of modern art, modern fashion kind of pieces, I guess. And I just really like that stuff. So I was really interested to talk to her. This is a cool podcast. Thank you guys. Again, follow me on social media, Outlook_Industries. And please give me 5 stars if you're on Apple Music. That would really help me out. Other than that, thank you guys for listening. And let's get right into the podcast.
It's the Outlook Podcast. We're here at the Outlook Podcast. Just because we're here, we're talking to cool people.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Outlook Industries podcast. Today I have Lumi here with me. How you doing, Lumi?
Good, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. What do you do from your words?
I guess in the purest sense of it all, I'm an organic artist. I have been since I was little. My parents kind of fostered that since I was around 4 or 5 years old. So yeah, it's always been an artist.
Awesome. And then I was looking at your website. Mm-hmm. Is your real name Katie Jo?
Yeah, it's Katie Jo, but I go by Lumi.
Okay, where'd the Lumi come from?
Lumi actually means lumiere. It's French for light.
Oh,
and
okay,
it's just
gotcha.
To show people that I want to be that light. I want to be able to harness that and to express it to the world and be that light for people.
Awesome, that's sweet. I really like that actually.
Yeah, thank you.
And then when and why actually did you choose to pursue art?
I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but I don't think I ever really chose it. It was just something that kind of like stumbled upon me. Like growing up, it's what my parents helped me do. Like I said, 4 or 5 years old is when I started. They just always gave me, markers and paint, and it's just what I ended up doing to express myself, and it's just what I've been doing since then. And you've just kept
going with that?
Yeah.
Sweet. I saw that you have a couple displays, or you had a couple displays at the Doll Art Center.
Mm-hmm.
What other centers and galleries have you had your art shown at, and what kind of has the public perception of that, and like what has the response been from people?
It's community-wise, it's been really great. I've shown at a variety of coffee shops here in Spearfish, and then here in Rapid as well, at Shavik, which is a gallery downtown Rapid.
Yeah.
I've also shown I have a show coming up in New York. I've shown in a variety of states, just any show that I can get into, really. And the public, it's been a pretty decent feedback.
Yeah.
But I've worked with a lot of local artists too, and just like the community of the support has been great over the past few years. Yeah.
How do you go about getting into a gallery in New York? That seems pretty cool.
It was just an online call for art that I submitted to. It wasn't anything serious, but it's still a cool show to get into.
Yeah, that's awesome. It seems a little big time, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is, like, most artists have like a message that they come with. What kind of message are you trying to portray with your art?
Lately I've been really into consumer society and getting into like how it not only affects us psychologically, but how it affects our daily lives and how it can kind of control not only how we perceive ourselves, but how we perceive the world, and just creating that dialogue for people to really question what they're doing in their day-to-day life.
Yeah. I saw that you're taking summer classes in San Francisco too at the art school there.
Yep.
How has that been?
Yeah, that was great. It was actually just 1 year that I was there back in 2017.
Okay.
I loved it to the death of me, but it was crazy expensive and I couldn't afford it. So I ended up moving back home.
Okay.
But there is a possibility that I will be going back in the next year or so.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm sure that the art community down there is super cool.
Yeah, it's great. It's huge. It's so supportive.
Yeah. I was looking at your website and I'm looking at what you're wearing, and you seem to like high fashion a lot. And I was just wondering what your favorite pieces are that you have.
That I have?
Yes.
Probably mostly shit that I've made.
Okay,
honestly. Yeah. But these pants that I'm wearing, Yana Worldwide, she's one of my friends. I don't remember where she's located, but her sweatpants and her hoodies that she recently created are definitely some of my favorites. I like more local art. Like, I also like to support, bigger businesses and everything. But when it comes to the local, like my community, my group of friends, that's when I like really thrive.
Yeah, of course. Awesome. So you take a lot of your inspiration from that kind of stuff, though, don't you?
For sure. Like early 90s is like my jam. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. In that kind of sense, where do you see yourself taking inspiration from?
Everywhere. I know that's kind of cliche to say, but from my family, I got 4 sisters that inspire me to the death of me. I got friends that inspire me to the death of me. Yeah. Music is a huge inspiration. 90s music, and then some underground rap. Yeah. I'm super into.
Yeah. Who's your favorite artist?
Joey Badass.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Top one, and then probably Absol. Like just the conscious rap is definitely what I'm more into.
Yeah, I have a friend Griffin he actually made the intro to this podcast, and he gets a lot of his inspiration from that like 90s rap, and it's just really cool. So
sweet.
How did you decide to paint the skate park, and when did that kind of come about?
So I've done a couple murals in Spearfish. I did the one right next to Redwater Kitchen, and then I helped repaint the Lookout Tunnel. Okay. As a part of art club with the Black Hill State that I'm currently going to. Yeah. And then I was like, I kind of want to have my own creative direction with the mural because the other ones were great, but I wanted to, kind of take the wheel. Yeah. So last summer I was talking to my friend TJ, who actually passed away in October, that he's a huge skater in the community. And I was talking to him a little bit about doing a mural, and then we kind of got going on to doing the skate park because it's been neglected for several years. Yeah. So we kind of got that idea going, and then I kicked it off with Matthew's Opera House, who helped me kind of get the project going, and then BH funded it. So it kind of just went on from there.
Awesome. How did you go about getting the approval? Because I've never gone through a process like that, and I just am really curious on how that all works.
Yeah, I mean, it started off with me just like gathering all the supplies, the prices, getting all that ready to go. Yeah. And then I actually proposed it to the city to get approved. Yeah. And I talked to my professor, Desi Schoenweiss, who does a lot of the mural work. So she kind of helped guide me on that. Yeah. And I took it to the Matthews Opera House, and we have been doing an internship, and they kind of helped guide me through it. So, yeah. Yeah.
What is that Matthews Opera House?
Matthews Opera House and Art Center. It's the gallery and opera house in Spearfish.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know if I've been there. I saw that also on your website, and I was like, what is that?
It's pretty small, but it's a great gallery and opera house that we have in Spearfish. Yeah.
Nice. What other kind of things are you doing for Black Hill State and that, like, I guess the art club is what you're a part of there?
It's been so hard with COVID, so we haven't been able to do art club, but I was one of the officers. We used to travel down to Denver when they had Denver Art Week and just go to Santa Fe and hit up all the galleries and hang out. And we went to the Monet show a couple of years ago, so I helped with raising money for that and, taking some people down there. But that's what we used to do with art club. But other than that, I've just been involved with the Rudell Gallery that we have at Black Hill State, just entering my work into it and, doing as much as I can, especially with COVID starting. It's been kind of hard to be an artist. Galleries have shifted online, which has been an interesting dynamic to get used to.
Yeah, sweet. Are you looking at doing more stuff with like fashion and clothes, or are you going to go towards more like the collage and like art that kind of way? Mm-hmm. Or where do you see yourself kind of going with your art?
It's been an interesting experiment to see the response of my work when someone can just hang it in their house versus when they can wear it. Yeah. That shift has been like an interesting dynamic to see, like my art on someone's body, like even getting it tattooed or something has been a huge transformation because they can take that and use it as like their own form of self-expression after I've already expressed myself. So it kind of continues that dialogue rather than it just, hanging on a wall and being stagnant. Yeah. It takes part of their everyday life. So I would like to get more into fashion and more into art that you can use in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Yeah. Where do you kind of see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully still creating. I don't see myself ever stopping. hopefully maybe even working in the music industry. I've really gotten into doing some cover work, doing collages and stuff for people's albums or doing their merchandise design, which has been an awesome experience to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what musicians have you done that for so far?
Dom Mooney is one of my favorite artists that I've worked with so far. There's a couple others that I could name, but he's definitely my favorite so far. You should definitely check him out.
Okay, yeah, I definitely will. I'll probably put a link in the description of this so they can check it out too.
For sure.
What have you learned about the art industry, and what would you tell somebody who's an aspiring artist today?
The art industry is definitely something that has been changing and growing for decades. I mean, there's so many different aspects of it that you can get into, and you can talk down on yourself and think that, oh, someone already does that, so I should do it. Yeah. But like the art industry is, I mean, art is everywhere. Like there's room for everyone. You know, just do your thing and keep going. Like, don't let anyone talk down on you or make you think that you can't do it. Yeah. You know? Awesome.
How many tattoos do you have? That's a random question.
15? 15. A couple have been done at home by myself or my sisters, you know, but I think 15 or 16.
Yeah, what's the story with the one on your neck?
The one on my neck, that's the throat chakra. Yeah. Okay. And then the angel number 222 under it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, nice.
It's kind of self-guidance type of thing.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Awesome. I'm sure that you've had some like doubts when going into art and especially choosing it as your major. Have you ever thought about doing something else, and how did you kind of push through that?
I've never thought about doing something else. Even in my lowest of lows, I'm like, I'm an artist. I'm a terrible artist. I've never been like, I'm not an artist. You know what I mean? Gotcha. Yeah, it's always been that title of I am an artist, but it's whether or not I'm good or bad. It's never been I'm not one. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, it's always been my identity. I can never like remove myself from it, even if I tried.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of the people, I know I have a lot of action sports guys listening to this right now, and we kind of do the same thing. We're like, so I totally understand where you're coming from with that. Do you read at all?
Oh God, yeah. I love reading.
What's your favorite book?
Vibrational Medicine is the book I'm super heavy into right now. I love getting into Taoism, which it's like a type of religion that I'm interested in, but just the more spiritual aspects, nonfiction books are definitely what I get into a little more.
What other books have you really enjoyed? What do you find yourself like turning back to?
Oh, I guess I do get a little into fiction. I'm gonna say Fahrenheit 451.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot about that book.
That's a great one. Or The Giver. That's a great book. Yeah. My dad is heavy into reading, so he's been handing me books since I could read. Yeah. You know, always been getting into reading as much as I can. Yeah. Expanding my mind.
Because I didn't read for the longest time, and I just kind of got back into it. Yeah. And it's just so cool to be able to just have like that ability to just sit down and read a book, because you feel like you don't have the time most of the time. So it's just really cool for me to be able to have that.
Feed your mind.
Yes, feed your mind. Exactly. Exactly. And I like doing that with art too. I really like architecture. I don't know if you're into architecture.
I love architecture. Yeah. I don't know any like big names or anything, but I'm pretty heavy into it.
Modern art and like modern architecture are like my favorite, because before I went into doing like engineering and business and stuff, I wanted to be an architect. Oh, okay. So because my whole family's very artsy, and my sister does singing and my dad's a graphic designer, so lots of art. Right. And I didn't really know where I fit in that, so I've been doing like YouTube videos and stuff like that. But I thought this podcast was a really cool idea to talk to some people who are really inspired like you, and just get some inspiration from there.
Of course.
I also have just started looking at like more jewelry stuff. Yeah. What kind of jewelry do you typically like?
Well, I got into it my parents have like fostered me so well. I got it pretty heavy when my mom worked at a jewelry store in Deadwood called Ponderosa. Yeah. So like even these rings that I have on right now, like they're from her shop. Okay. Or the shop that she worked at. And then the rest of the jewelry I have on is mostly thrifted. Oh, okay, Yeah, I love thrifting.
Yeah, thrifting is the way to go. I've been doing a ton of that lately too.
Clean fashion is definitely something I've been getting to. Like even my t-shirt, this was my mom's in high school.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Yeah, but like I think the only thing that I get...
Did you cut that off yourself?
Yeah, I did cut it. A little alteration. But awesome. The only thing I think I get brand new is some of my accessories and then my shoes. Yep. Shoes are like the only thing that I get brand new.
It's hard to get used shoes, so that's how it is. Yeah. Yeah, well, I have one more question for you,
Okay.
and that is, what is your meaning of life? What makes you click? This is a hard one, so you can think
It is
about
a hard one, but in the most simplest of form, just me
Yeah.
living for myself.
Yeah.
You know, finally like not letting external sources be like my drive.
Yeah.
Like letting my own light and my
Yeah.
own being be like what keeps me going every
Yeah.
day. It's not creating art all the time. It's not listening to music all the time. Like it's really digging deep and finding who you are. And I
Yep.
think that's been the only thing that really keeps me going every day.
Well, I think it's really important, kind of in that same sense, to find what you like to do yourself and find what makes you happy instead of just doing things because your friends do it,
Right,
kind of
yeah.
thing. Because
Following
I know
trends.
lots of people have trouble with that.
Yep, for
So,
sure.
yeah. Do you have any advice for like artists and people like that may have like doubts kind of going into like who they are and finding themselves?
There's always tomorrow.
Yep.
Like even if you're having the worst day and it seems like it's not going to end and it's just like my life has been so bad, like what is happening to me, what is going
Yeah.
on, why are these bad things? There's always a reason, and I know how cliche and cheesy that sounds, but there
Yeah.
is always a reason. Something's going to always make you grow and you know, turn into the person that you're going to be and that you should be and that you are.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lumi. Where can we follow you?
Lumi.1997 on almost all platforms, Twitter,
Okay.
Instagram, and then from there I have my link tree. So
Okay,
go ahead
sweet.
and follow me wherever else.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.